Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Deanne Castro, Creative Memories Advisor in Bakersfield, California, in case you haven't seen me before. Um, and thank you to all of you who are coming back and watching what I'm doing and watching this video. I really appreciate you all, and I appreciate the ones who comment. Some of you have done it many times, and I just kind of feel like you're becoming friends. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. So today, we're going to be doing number 5, page sets number 5 from the Legacy of Love Project Playbook. And as usual, I have a couple of other pages that's done this similar way with different collections. So you can see what it looks like with other collections besides just this one. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so this is the page we're going to be doing. All right. I'm going to modify it just a little bit. It calls for a complete 2 background papers for hot fudge for the backgrounds, 2 full sheets. And I am actually going to cut one in half. And I'm going to weld them together with some tape chips. I think you guys have seen these before. They're little squares of double-sided tape. They're called tape chips. There's many ways that you can do this, but this is one of my favorite ways just because it gives you more adhesive and it just makes the pages, when you put them on your pages, stay a little more secure. Okay, so what we're going to need today is 1 sheet of hot fudge cardstock, which is going to be used for the photo mats. And we'll get to it. There's one more. And then we're going to be using this one. I love this. This is so pretty. This is a bunch of diamond shapes. This is a compass on the back. So we're using this one. And we're going to be using this one. It is the back side of this really pretty paper. But it works really well for what we're doing because it's a real neutral color. Okay, and then we also have one page that's going to be also cut for the background of these pages. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and we're using the gems. What's it called? The Geometric Gems Border Maker cartridge for this particular page. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to start with that. Move these out of the way. And I am going to punch 2 sides of this paper with the Geometric Gems Border Maker cartridge. And so I pulled this, for those of you that may have not have seen it, I pulled this tray out from underneath. It just flips out and then it kind of locks into place. This is a magnet, 2 magnets here that hold the paper in place while you're punching. So you lift that up and put the paper in and line it all the way up against the edge of the tray and put this bar down to hold the paper in place. And then put the tray back underneath out of the way. Okay, we're going to put the paper here through the cartridge, and it's going to line up this little mark right here. It's going to line up with the little marks, on the paper holder. And there's 5 of them, 6 of them, I'm sorry, all the way down. Okay, so make sure that it's the paper's in there all the way, that this push right up against the cartridge. Punch, pull it out, because sometimes this little piece can get stuck in there, and it's just better, it just goes more smooth down the edge of the paper, at least the first few times, because you don't want it to get stuck up in there. Then you have to start over because it's really hard to get it unstuck. All right, so there we have this one. And then we're going to turn the paper around. And we're just going to do this side of it. So it's not a full 12 inches because we've just cut off of this side here. But it's all right because it's not going to go all the way up the page. Going to do the same thing. Okay, so this one's a little bit shorter, but we're going to be trimming off the other one. Okay, so using this particular punch, that has left us with an 11 by 11 piece of paper. Now, if you use a different punch, it may cut off a little bit more than 11 inches. It's okay, you just adapt it to whatever paper you're using. Okay, we're gonna put that out of the way. So I'm gonna measure this so we can just make sure that it's the 11 by 11 that we need. Okay, and it's just under 11 inches there. So it's going to be just under 11 inches here, which is fine. Okay, now we're going to cut this piece in half. We're going to cut it at 5.5 by 11. Okay, so I have the 11 the long way here, the vertical. We're going to cut it 5.5, which on this trimmer is right on the edge of this right here. It's going to be 5.5 and 5.5. Okay, so we're done with that sheet of paper. Now we're going to take this one and we're just going to cut it directly in half. So this is going to be at 6 inches. Okay. Now we're going to take the hot fudge, which would normally stay a full sheet, but I'm going to cut it in half to save some paper. So, cutting it at 6 inches. And now we're going to cut the photo mats to use on the page. So this is another sheet of hot fudge. And these are going to be 4 inches. So my first cut is going to be at 4 inches. Turn the paper 90 degrees, and now I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. So these are going to be 4 by 5 inches. Kind of a not kind of an unusual cut. Lots of times it's 4 by 4 or 4 by 6, but it'll fit on what we're going to be putting it on a little better with just the 5 inches. So I'm going to do another cut, 4 by 12 inches. Okay, now I'm going to do one more at 4 by 5. And then the next part, I'm going to do 4 by 4. So it's going to be a 4 by 4 inch square. Okay, we're not using this piece. Now the last 4-inch one, we're going to cut it into 4 by 4 inch squares. So we'll have 3 of them. So we're going to cut it one at 4 inches, cut it one more at 4 inches, and give us 2 more at 4 by 4. Okay, so we're done with the cutting on that. So now we can start assembling it. Now, what I did was cut these to where we're going to have the hot fudge on the far right and on the far left. Come on, paper, move. Okay, so then on the far left. Now this one is going to go in the middle. So this one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. And now we're going to weld these together. Okay. There's different ways to do this. You can, we're going to turn it over. You can take a scrap piece of paper, and I don't have one handy. So you would just take a scrap piece of paper and you would cut it about 3/4 of an inch or an inch, just kind of whichever, however width you like. None of it's going to show, so it's really not going to matter. But then you would put adhesive on it, and then you would just put it right down the seam. I'm actually going to do a little differently. I'm going to put some tape chips on it because I like them when I put it on the page to have a little extra adhesive on it. Okay, so I'm just going to take these, make sure that this is butted right up against each other, and make sure that the top and the bottom match, so you don't have one side sticking out more than the other. Okay. Now you can add more in there if you want. For our purposes tonight, that will be plenty. So then you turn it over and you've got your page this way. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. Okay, so make sure that these edges are equal. Move this one up a little bit. And make sure that it's straight across. And grab your tape chips. And this is nice because you also will have adhesive already adhered to the paper. So when you do, it'll keep it together, but it won't stick to anything. And then when you do want it adhered to your page, you just take the paper off of them. But you can store them like this and it will hold them together. Same with doing an actual welding piece, the 3/4 of an inch or a 1 inch will still work the same way. Okay. And there I have 12 by 12 page. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is take these pieces, and because they're not exactly 12 inches, we're going to center them so they're about 1/2 inch from the top, 1/2 inch from the bottom, and a 1/2 inch from the left edge over here. Okay, so I'll put some adhesive on it. Okay, and it's going to line right up with the seam right here. So it's going to go right up against that other piece of paper. And make sure you've got about a 1/2 inch top and bottom. And adhere it down. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the other one. And it's going to go against the right side here. Bring it down about a 1/2 of an inch. Make sure it's kind of straight. And there we go. Okay, now we're going to take these two little pieces, turn them over, and use the back side. This one is going to go here. And this one, we need to trim down a little bit. And we're just going to snip it off about an inch. And it's going to go here. It's not pretty. It just kind of jazzes up the page just a little bit. Okay. Put a little bit of adhesive on it. And line it up right here. Some adhesive on this one. And put it on this side. There we go. Now, pretty much all we have left is the photo mats. What do I do with the embellishments? Hmm. Okay, so here's the photo mats. And let's go ahead and set them where they're recommended to be. So one is here. This is a 4x4. This is a 4x4. This one is a 4x5. This one is a 4x5. Same as this one. And the last two 4x4s will go here. Okay, now we can put a mat card in here. Live the life you imagined. That one's pretty. I like that one. Okay, now this one, you mean the world. This is one that we can cut in half. So I'm going to put it in my trimmer and line it up on the cut line. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and then this one can go here. So let's move those down a little bit. There we go. Now, if we want to add a few embellishments, let's see what they're recommending here. Okay. Oh, I love this typewriter. I think that's so cool. So we can put this butterfly here. And I love this clock. Isn't it pretty? I don't know why, but I do love that clock. Okay, we'll put a little pretty cute curly Q here. And it has hearts up here. Look at that old cabinet. Oh, so pretty. And a telephone. We don't see these anymore at all. Let's see, what else is down in here? Okay, the others must be stickers. And for some reason, I didn't bring my stickers down here. But this is good. I can put like this right here. We'll improvise. Isn't that pretty? All right. And there we go. And there's our page. So this is the last set. I'm kind of sad, but it was so pretty. So thank you all for joining me in on these. I really love these. So I'm not going to adhere these down right now, but you get the idea. I will adhere them down in a minute when I get all done. But I want to show you a couple of other pages. Okay, so this one is with the Noteworthy Days. And I have to tell you, the Noteworthy Days paper pack is so versatile. I lost a friend of mine about a week and a half ago. She was really close to my one daughter and I. She was the wife of the color guard coach that we spent 10 years with my daughter through high school and college doing color guard. And um, we lost her a couple weeks ago. So it was been really hard. And I did an album of all of their photos. Thankfully, they posted tons of photos on Facebook. And between the two of them, I downloaded 117 photos. And um, so last weekend, I spent most of the weekend putting together an album for the coach. And of just him, some of their girls, some of their kids, but they had a lot of photos of each other, and it just reminded me how really important it would be to take selfies of not just not just photos of your husband and your kids, but to get you in the photos, because there were so many selfies that they had done for the two of them, and it was really special to be able to do that. But I did almost the entire book of Noteworthy Days pages. I had done several pre-made pages on other videos and stuff that I used. We had our quick kits this year that are done with all of the colors of the um, Noteworthy Days, and it came out beautiful. So I just love the Noteworthy Days. It is so versatile, and I used it on all the occasions of all the photos that they had. So I modified this one just a little bit. Again, this one I used the photo tape on. It is one roll of continuous tape, and it's double sided, but it's on a piece of paper. So that's how I welded these. And instead of putting the border that I punched along the side here, I moved it into here because I really just don't like that seam showing. So I just used another sheet of paper. It was a scrap from what I had already had, and punched a few of these so that it was a full 12 inches long, and then put them down the seam. But I really like how this one came out. And then we have this one, which is the All American Blast paper, the 4th of July paper from this year. And I love it. It is so bright. It is so pretty. So, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if the camera will bring this up. Can you see how shiny that is? It's almost a holograph. It is so, so pretty. And then these embellishments. And is this one a holograph? No, this one's not. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think it's so fun. You guys are probably laughing at me, but it's okay. It's pretty fun. So this will definitely be used for a journaling box, because I keep telling you guys it is so, so important to get your photos and your journaling on your pages. It doesn't matter if there's anything else on the page. Yeah, it's nice to kind of decorate them up a little bit and just have lots of pretty papers and stuff to put them on. But the most important part of scrapbooking is your photos and your journaling. The who, what, when, where, telling the story of your lives is what is going to be the most important thing to your family generations to come. So make sure you have journaling at least on one of your 2-page spreads. Okay, so that's this one. And we can go back to our original. And it's a little bit of a mess because I didn't adhere it down, but you guys know how it looked. Okay, and there we go. So Thank you, everyone, for hanging in there with me. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this series. If you'd like me to do another one, I'm happy to do that. If you'd like to see just various things each week, like I've always been doing, I can do that as well. I need to get another few borders in here because I have kind of gone away from that doing this series. I'm also going to be posting another coast to coast video. I did another video with my two good friends who are on the East Coast, and I am on the West Coast, and I will be posting that after this one. All right, hope you look forward to that one too. Have a great week. Have a blessed week, and I will see you next week. All right, thank you.